In his 20 seasons with the San Diego Padres, Tony Gwynn won a record 8 National League batting titles and had a career batting average of .338. He was one of the best contact hitters ever. In over 10,000 at bats, he struck out just 434 times. On the day he retired in 2001, I chatted with Tony.
In my 25 years of broadcasting Major League Baseball, I've often said I've never seen a better hitter than Tony Gwynn. So it's with mixed emotions I begin this interview because you and I have had a number of over 20 years, and I'm happy for you, but at least I'm also sad for you.
Well, that's kind of how I feel, too. I'm happy for me and that I got this off my chest today, let everybody know what's going on. But I'm sad because in 3 months I won't be able to do what I've loved to do for the last 20 years. And, it's been a blast. I've had a great time. I've learned a lot, and I think I passed on a lot. But, for every ball player, there comes that point in his career where he has to sit down and be honest with himself and say, it's time to do something else. And I think that point came for me some point last year. I decided to stay here one more year, give it one more try. It hadn't really worked out the way I wanted to work out here in the first 3 months. But I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't do anything different. This is where I wanted to be. And, I ended up getting hurt in L.A. when we were there the first time, and I've been on the field for a game and a half since then.
Well, on the DL on your 41st birthday, yeah. You didn't time that, did you?
Exactly. And so signs were there last year, and so coming into this year, I really had made up my mind this was going to be my last year. And, today I made my announcement this is going to be my last year. So I'm happy in that, I finally got that off my chest, but like I said, I'm sad because this is really what I love to do.
It's ironic that you and Ripken would both do it within days of each other. That's a great career.
I kind of feel bad, because I don't want to take anything away from Cal because he's a great player and he's been a great player for a long time and done a lot for this game. And to be honest, I was really thinking about doing it last week before we went on the road, but we had an off day on Monday. I went to Phoenix to watch my son play, and I came back and I turned on the TV and Cal's going to announce his retirement. So I really had to push it back a little bit because I wanted him to get all that he deserved. And so, this week I make my announcement, and really it's kind of, I think I kind of have the same reasons. I didn't really want a lot of hoopla. I just wanted to kind of play the game and go on and do something else, but it's bigger than me. How I feel about it is not as important as how everybody else feels about it. And so I'm finding out here today, and I found out the last couple of days that people want to pay their respects, and so I have to accept that and accept it with a smile because I'm obviously you feel gratified that people respect what you've done for a long time, and they want to show that respect, and I have to accept that, and that's okay. It's an okay thing. I myself, I just didn't want to go from town to town and have people pay their respects, and I didn't want to get caught up in that. But that's part of the game, and when you sign your name on that contract, these are the type of things that you have to accept. So I have to accept mine, and so whatever comes, I have to accept it.
Tony, I want to go back and talk about Dodger Padre games. And I know that when you were a youngster in Long Beach, and after you got all those hits in that small backyard of yours down there, you'd go out to Dodger Stadium. Was Willie Davis your favorite player?
That was my favorite guy. And my dad used to take my brothers and I, and we'd go out to the ballpark on the weekends, and we'd get there early so we could catch the end of batting practice. And I watched Willie Davis. My two other brothers, they had their particular guys, but my guy was Willie Davis, and I'd watch him take fly balls. I'd watch him take batting practice. I watched him take infield. And as a kid, that was my guy. That's who I wanted to be like.
Were you a staunch Dodger fan, or were you just a baseball?
Oh, no, I was a Dodger fan. I've worn a Padre uniform for 20 years now, but I was a diehard, bled Dodger blue Dodger fan, and I think our whole house was. And it really wasn't until I got drafted that there was a shift, but it was a slow shift because my dad, who's no longer with us, in the closet, he was a Dodger fan. He still was a Dodger fan, and the only time he pulled for the Padres was when we went to the World Series in '84, and when the Padres played the Dodgers, because he had to pull. He'd come to the game, he'd come in the clubhouse, he'd be with me all day long, and he grew into a Padre fan. And then Chris got drafted by the Dodgers, right. So we had to get him the jacket with the half Dodger, half Padre thing, and it wasn't a pretty thing with all that brown. And Tommy Lasorda used to give him a hard time about wearing Padre stuff, but we all were big Dodger fans, and And now that I've been in the big leagues for 20 years, I mean, I'm a Padre fan now, but I still check the paper to see how the Dodgers are doing because it's just out of habit.
Couple of seconds to go. You told me one time, the only time you ever struck out 3 times in a game, Bob Willis, the Dodgers struck you out, and he could have struck you out 4.
He really did strike me out for it because I took a 2-2 pitch that was a strike and it fell the ball. And it's the only time in my career I struck out 3 times, but honestly, I should have struck out 4.
Yeah. And one more question. Was your only inside the park grand slam at Dodger Stadium?
That's exactly right. Mark Guthrie. Yeah. And it's funny because since I've been injured, I've been watching a lot of video, and that happened to come up the other night. And so I was surprised I made it all the way around, but I did.
Tony, it's been a pleasure. We'll see you again in September, but thanks for all the happy memories.
All right. Thank you.